Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm reviewing this little palette from Bare Minerals. It's called The Affair to Remember. Excuse the fingerprints that get all over these. I found it on QVC's website. Might have been between 3-4 weeks ago, and I snatched it up because I kind of made a commitment to myself after realizing how much I love the ready formula of the Bare Minerals eyeshadows. I said anytime there's an 8-pan palette, that's really the best value. So that's what I'm always going to go after. And just to jog your memory a little bit, if you're not super familiar with this line, they make in that ready formula the Happy Place quad, which you know I love so much. Also recently got this neat little duo with that sunshiny yellow shade called the Promise. So I've got several others that I really like. I think it's a buttery, smooth, rich texture for eyeshadows. I think they do shimmers and metallics well. I think they do mattes really well. So I was very excited to see this palette come out, and I just thought at a glance the shades in here look gorgeous. I mean, it's a very soft, muted lilac, purpley kind of palette. As I look at these shades, I think, man, those would be pretty baby nursery colors. The palette itself is just gorgeous. You know, it's rose gold. You've got a nice sized mirror here, but still, all in all, the packaging is really compact. You do have a little brush in here. It's tapered enough around the tip to be usable for application, and then you've got like a pencil type brush here, which is nice and soft. It's pretty mobile there. It could be pretty good for, you know, smudging out your lower lash line. Something you'll find is that every shade in this palette has at least a little bit of a sheen. So I'm talking shades that are kind of a satiny finish all the way up to something that actually has little flecks of glitter in it. If you like the purely matte shadows, there's none of that in here, and I was a little disappointed to see that because I think Bare Minerals does such a good job with matte eyeshadows. There was one kind of disappointing shade, and we'll look at the swatches, and that was the white color. I mean, it just seemed kind of off to me. It seemed much more sheer and just didn't have the feel that I expect from a lot of the Bare Minerals shadows. It was just a little more dry. There is a gorgeous, like, rosy taupe color in here. It looks great worn alongside the peach that's in this palette. Now there's a purple in here, like a deep plum, that's got a lot of shimmer in there, and that can create a bit of a fallout issue, as can the shade below that. Then you've got a couple of purples in your lower row. Both are, again, pretty muted shades. One a little bit deeper than the other, but really pretty colors. And then you've got a grayish shade down there as well with a little bit of shimmer. As far as color variety, when you see these shades swatched out, I think you can see, you know, quite a few differences between these shades, but still, they are pretty close to one another. You've got a lot of kind of muted mid-tones, and once those get sheared out on your eyes, I feel like I start to achieve a lot of the same looks over and over again with this palette. I mean, there is the option here to leave purples out of your look entirely if you wanted to, you know, sticking to like these shades up here and then maybe throw in the gray or something. But all in all, you're dealing with a lot of, you know, soft, muted, neutral shades. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I really like these kinds of tones, but I find that when I go back to think I'm creating a different look because, oh, I'm going to use this purple instead of that purple, or, you know, they end up still kind of looking alike, because really once these shades are softened and blended out, they don't look drastically different from one another. As a whole, you know, getting a look out of these, I think they're really nice and blendable. So what I did for today's look, I first used the Softest lilac shade and I applied that all over my lid, and then I took the deeper plum that has a lot of sparkle in it and I patted that on the outer part of my lid. I worked it up into my crease as well. I blended that shade out a little bit, and then I took actually a little bit of the medium purple and I used that as kind of a way to transition out of the plumminess a little bit. I love using this peach as a highlight. It looks so pretty. Under the eye, I used a little bit of the plum again, and also that middle purple color on the lower lash line, and I finished things off with some plum liner on my upper lash line, some black in my waterline. If you love the soft lavender shades, I mean, if these tones just really speak to you, I think this is a great deal for Bare Minerals ready eyeshadows. But if color variety and a wide range of looks is what you're after, this may not quite deliver as much for you. Also, I think there were a few more misses in this palette than I'm used to seeing from the Bare Minerals palettes. So not my favorite of the Bare Minerals ready 8.0 palettes that I've tried, but I mean, if these are your kinds of colors and you think you'll wear these shades a lot, I think you'll be happy with it. I hope that was helpful to you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.